So today I want to take a step out of black culture specifically, and I just want to just let people know and have a conversation about just how rough it is just in general. Just being somebody with traditional values, just in a modern society, it's hard out here. I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's what we need. Yes. What is up, everybody? This is your boy, contributor Anthony Watson, and we are here right now in San Diego going to find out from all of the men and all of the women if they want a chivalrous man and a traditional woman, and why. So do you think it's good in the culture that we live here in America where more men are wanting to become more feminine?
A lot of people are going to hate me. I feel like that is stupid as because I don't see why you would want to become that way. You know what I mean?
What makes a man, in your opinion?
Respect.
The man needs to have respect for you, or
He needs to respect me.
that's all the man needs to do to be a man for you, to be the father of your children?
I don't know about the father of my children. I'm 21. I'm too young for that.
But eventually you're going to want to get married, right?
I don't know. I don't want to get married right now.
What?
Problem number one. Nobody is ever thinking about the future. Nobody is ever thinking about the consequences of their actions. Nobody is ever thinking or planning, yeah, maybe I should be considering how I want or would look to do things in the future. Nobody just, and I always relate stuff back to the black community because, like I said, I'm black. That's like, you can tell, but like, I'm black. But when you really look down at the nitty gritty, this is just a Western problem in general. And that's why marriage and everything is suffering so bad in Western societies, because the mindset and the culture of modern Western society is just trash. And that's just the truth of the matter. Everybody's selfish. Everybody's thinking of the instant gratification. Nobody's thinking about the consequences of their actions, usually which result in a lot of reckless childbirths and a lot of situations where now you link to people that basically don't mean you no good or make your life hard. And it really sets your life back because a lot of people, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, they would just be living differently if they didn't have kids. But at the same time, they also think that there's another group of people who think they got all the time in the world to figure it out. Like her. I mean, think about it. Think about it. She's 21, right? She's 21. See, and I used to love when Kevin Samuels would make this point. See, there's a clock, because when women hit about 35, they go into what's called geriatric pregnancy. Geriatric pregnancy basically means that it becomes really, really risky for you to have kids. And guess what? The older you get, the worse it gets. So really, it becomes like when you get into like the 40s and stuff like that, if you ain't found nobody, but if you really, your prime childbearing years is really like, you would really think it'd be like 20, like in that 25 to 28, but right before you hit 30, you want to have all the kids you have by around 35 in an ideal scenario. If you're looking at just based off of biologically, and it's just when you know what I mean? I'm not saying like that's the way people gotta live their life. I'm just saying when you look at it biologically, that would just make the most sense.
Kind of men really get you girls going? Is it dads or traditional ones?
My baby daddy, Robert. Shout out to you.
Here's a better question. You like...
Look at that. These are the type of women. These are the type of women that men got to deal with. This is the type of woman as the average woman. Look at them. They looking fool.
Trappers. All right, so better question. Who runs the world?
Girls,
Men with money.
women. I'm not looking for a husband or nothing. I'm looking for a good time right now.
If I, as soon as I become a mother,
That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. Nobody's thinking about the future. And look at them. Look at how ratchet they are. They don't even understand that people are gonna see that in the future. Like you remember when they announced that Freaknik documentary, and all those older women, all those women in their 40s and stuff that was at the Freaknik in the 90s. Now they scared because now they past finna come out before they found Jesus. talking about some Jesus be a fence. No. How about you be a fence and act like you got some sense from the get-go? You know what I mean? But this is the mentality that people have to deal with. Is that oh, I don't care. I'll figure it out. We'll get it later. We'll get it later. And then later comes and now life is harder. And you know what I mean? You just made your situation just a lot harder. But yeah, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm not necessarily even gonna benefit from that. Because at the end of the day, in order for that to work, most women, they got to marry guys that are financially stable, which means that they got to marry older. So, I mean, chances are, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't hit 30 yet. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's why I keep trying to tell people I'm objective, because a lot of the things that I say and a lot of the things that I believe, just because I say it and I believe it doesn't mean that it necessarily benefits me. And that's why I attempt to be authentic with everybody, because at the end of the day, I'm about the truth, and I'm gonna tell the truth regardless of whether I'm benefiting from it or not. I'm not benefiting from the fact that women are so picky nowadays. I don't benefit from that. In fact, if I'm gonna be honest, one of my biggest fears is that I'm probably gonna end up dying alone, because in the event that I do achieve the success that I envision for myself, I'm not even gonna be able to trust no woman. I'm not even gonna be able to trust her. So at the end of the day, I'm just talking about the truth. The one girl, she was right. Men with money do have a lot of power. Women don't run the world. Men allow women to think that they run the world. They have a lot of power and influence. They can do a lot of damage, but the reason why they can do that is because they have a lot of weak, pathetic dudes backing them up, supporting them, and that's just the truth of the matter.
I'm gonna be okay with my kid if they want to transition or if they want to do this and that. Like, I don't care at any age, honestly.
Whose job is it to make sure that men are better? Is it you, since you run the world, or should men already know how to be better?
Men should already know how to be better. If, like, you are a man.
Well, excuse the French toast out of us. Excuse the French toast out of us for not being able to get by on just pretty looks and having to actually figure it out and get it out the mud. Excuse us. There's different levels of mud for everybody. Some of us got to learn social skills out the mud. Some of us got to get bread out the mud. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot that people think, and you know what? And that's the big problem nowadays, because honestly, if modern women were more willing to actually look at real potential, because you know it's a funny thing, because you notice a lot of women, they be so picky, but then they still make the wrong decisions, right? If they were willing to just give a few more guys just a little bit of grace for potential, and I'm not talking about pookies, I'm talking about like dudes that got a future that they just not there yet, then maybe you would get more of a benefit. Maybe things would be different in the community. But then guess what? Y'all pass over those guys, and then when they go and divest or they become passport bros, now they and then they share their experience of why they became a passport bro, because they're getting attacked for being a passport bro. Then guess what? Now they hate women. Now they're being shamed. It's not cool, man. And I'm just saying, it's like, I don't know. Maybe y'all can't relate. I sit there and I believe that the only way that to really have a successful family and build a legacy is through embracing more traditional values. You know how lonely that's gonna make my life? To live by that? I understand people be like love to sprout the talking points and all that kind of stuff, but when you really got to stand behind the stuff that you say and believe in, is that really, like, are you really ready for that? I be having to learn every day. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend. I'm not gonna sit up here and cap to y'all. It's hard. If I ever want to have, I gotta get rich if I ever want to hope to ever benefit the way a lot of guys benefit. And hope for the best. That's my life. That's my life. That's what you got to deal with. And because this mentality, some women are nicer about saying it, and some women are meaner about saying it. But at the end of the day, this is the expectation that you expected to get. You're supposed to figure it out. Regardless of whether what you're doing is uncharted, regardless of whether you doing something that's never been done before in your circle, your environment, or whatever like that. You know what I mean? It's just, this is life. This is life. And you expected to have it all together. No flaws. Be perfect. And if you aren't perfect, then guess what? You get passed over. And bad, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying.
You don't know that's your issue.
So then why are you picking the bad ones?
You don't know.
Look.
Gotcha, bitch.
She definitely makes more than I do. I think probably, I don't think we're very traditional. But I'm like super smart. I'm like super genius.
Are you into traditional women? Or are you into the...
Shoot, not. I don't know why he was doing that to himself. That was bad.
thoughts?
Puras fresas. The traditional thoughts, yeah.
Okay, so what makes dating a traditional woman better than a...
I agree. Yeah, I agree. After thoughts. They can... After thoughts, they can kick rocks. Say...
street thought.
You think I want my girl out here with all these guys?
She belongs to the streets.
Yeah, exactly. She needs a cook.
If men run the world, do you think it's up to us to raise the standard of women we date, or for women to already know what kind of women to be?
For us men, to raise the limit, the standards.
Why is that?
Because we know what we want, but all these simp-ass men, I mean, they get whatever they want. They just go for the lower standards. That's what they go for.
Yeah, there's more to be found in trash.
Settle down for the trash.
I agree with that, and I disagree with that too at the same time, because you know it's a lot of hyenas out there. It's a lot of hyenas, and hyenas are gonna be hyenas. But I do think that if men definitely raise the standard and stop embracing whole culture as much as they do, then I definitely think that it would change up, because you know what I mean. A lot of women, they thoughts because y'all love that. Y'all love it. Y'all love it. As much as you want to pretend like you don't, especially black culture. That's the image. That is an image that is pushed. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But I think that if men, I think women also at the same time have to teach other women how to be women. But at the same time, I think men have to teach women how to be a good woman for them. You might have to teach her how to be a good woman for you, but I don't think men can't teach women how to be women, just like women can't teach men how to be men. But I think that to encourage women to be better, if men stop accepting the bottom of the barrel, like, then guess what? Women will have to step it up. But when you look at men that divest and then they talk about weight and all that kind of stuff, all the black women do is shame them. They shame them. So at the end of the day, I think they shame them instead of competing, instead of just saying, okay, well, I'm going to do what they doing. They shame the men. So I think it's not as complicated as a lot of guys try to make it seem. But I also think that he's absolutely right that a lot of weak men enable women. And like I said, a lot of guys, it's a lot of male hyenas that are behind these female hyenas that are upholding their power. They're upholding their power for them. So it's kind of like we have traitors in the camp, double agents, turncloaks, you know, and they betraying the car. You want to talk about sellouts? That's being a sellout.
That's what it happens. All these little virgins, they send it out for the trash. I don't want all these fucking hoes out here.
That's what we like. Thank you. Who runs the world better, men or women?
Men. But what do we run it based?
Who runs the world better? Yes, men absolutely run the world better.
On women. To be honest, I don't.
You said who do we run it for? And that's women. I agree with that. I think men have civilized the world in the way we have to appease women. Yeah, it's to appease women. A lot of things that men do is for the comfort of women. Usually because the more comfortable a woman is, the more receptive a woman is. So, I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. But men run the world better.
I don't even know how to answer these questions. I'm afraid that I'm going to offend somebody.
What are you afraid for?
Women beating my ass.
I'm gonna kill you.
See, he's a male hyena. He's afraid of women. He's afraid of women. He's afraid of women. He's a male hyena.
Men are more logical and women are more emotional. But it feels like lately it's been changing. I feel like men are becoming more emotional too. Whatever they're feeding us.
So what does it take to be a real man?
Men are the people who were born to protect, provide to young women, widows, babies, children, and the weak. And
I thought it was just your family. That's what I mean. When did being a man entitle you to, or when did that being a man draft you into being protector of the world and being a superhero? I don't remember that being in the guidebook. I don't even remember there being a guidebook. Where's can we get this in writing? Can we get the rules, please? Can we get something? Can we get something, please? Let me know, because at the end of the day, what we gotta be responsible for. You saying that we gotta be responsible for the young girl. We gotta be responsible for the women that are under the women that we deal with. We gotta be responsible for our kids. We gotta be responsible for ourselves. We gotta be responsible for our family. Then on top of all that, then you gotta be responsible for just random young women. Then you got to be responsible for widows. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to be responsible like for everything. Like, come on, that's not fair, and it's not reasonable. When was this ever agreed upon? And why is there no sign in, no opt in process? Because this is standard. These unreal standards. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm quite frankly, I'm fed up of it. Its standards are just unreal.
And you have a group of people now that are being raised to think that it's okay to just abandon that role because they've removed men from their natural roles.
What's going on?
And men are not in their natural roles because, like, when you look at the black community specifically, we're operating under a matriarchy. So women are the head of the household. So when you look at that, guess what? What do you expect to happen? What do you expect to happen? If you have traditional values, neo-traditional values, anything of that nature, any type of conservative values, it's hard. It's going to be hard out here, especially if, like, you know what I mean? For people that don't fit into stereotypes or don't fit into a narrative or the pre-mode, it's hard. It's going to be hard. Like I said, I mean, if I don't get rich, I'm probably going to die alone. And that's just the truth. You know what I mean? And it's sad to say that, but that's just what it is. And at the end of the day, even if I do get rich, like whatever marriage, it'll be business because I wouldn't be able to trust no woman. But guess what? A lot of women not willing to build with dudes while they figuring stuff out. But they'll build with a pookie though. They'll build with Pookie. They'll wait for Pookie. And Pookie will never figure it out, but they'll wait. Because Pookie can make them feel good. Yeah. It's just something you just got to be all right with, you know. Sometimes I just sit there and just think about what Kevin Samuels said. Just put your head in the ground. It ain't your turn yet. But on that note, I'm JayyRedd, Unfiltered. I've already been a little bit too honest with y'all, so I'm sided out. All right.